Anderson here for a meditation a day. Today we have a very special guest meditator, Keira Lani. She's coming to us today with a beautiful message about emerging into self. So, Keira, thank you so much for being here today. And I'm just going to get out of the way and let you get started.
Thank you, dear Ruth. Oh, I'm going to remember to turn on my sound because my beautiful crystal bowl wanted to speak today. And so, as we prepare to get started, I want to invite in the awareness that each of us is birthed in a vibration. And if we go into the ancient spiritual traditions, there are so many stories of the sound of God, goddess creating the world. In the ancient Vedic traditions, there is a goddess whose name I don't remember, but she, chanting the sound of Om, birthed the world into creation. In the biblical tradition, we hear of the Word of God coming first and the creation. There are so many traditions that speak of this that we can feel the truth of the word. Um, the other piece that's coming through really strongly in terms of this concept of how do we emerge into self through the experiences of our life. How do you feel when someone says something that you know is true? Who out there gets a full body vibration? Who can feel the truth in the words? As I'm speaking this, I'm receiving that reverberation in my own system. So I'm inviting today that you notice when you hear something that is true for you, that you can own it as yours, that you can take that piece in. And if you hear something that doesn't quite resonate, how can you learn to own more fully what your truth is? This is the conversation that was coming through today, and I'm really excited to bring it through to you. And so I'm going to invite my beautiful crystal bowl, and I'm actually feeling that she may be giving me a name to call her through this practice today. That came through as well, and I'll let you know if she does. And this bowl was attuned to the solar plexus chakra. However, your inner vibration may receive that tone in a different chakra or perhaps in your entire body system. So trust that the sound will activate where you're needing to bring more vibration into your system. So as I play this bowl, I'm inviting that you receive the sound to activate your inner truth. So before I begin the sound, drop into the breath. And we're going to do a practice called Ujjayi breath today. This means the sounding breath or the rising up breath. And we create the sound with just a gentle toning in the throat, the same as if you were to blow breath onto your glasses. But it's just a sound for you. It's not a sound to be heard in the room. So with your mouth closed, gently tone the throat to hear the subtle sound of your breath, attuning to your central channel. And as you breathe in and out that gently toned throat, listening to the inner sound of your breath, send it all the way down into your root chakra, feeling the subtle sound of your breath connecting to the subtle vibration of the earth beneath your feet. Feel yourself connecting deeply to that presence of the mother earth, the mother water, feeling the subtle movement beneath you. And as you continue to receive the sound of your inner breath, feel it rising up from earth to heaven, connecting to the sound of the universe, the sound of the presence of God consciousness, that which is within, without, all around. And as you come into full presence to this subtle sound, notice when the bowl rings, where does that vibration connect to your sound? What is awakened within you? How does it enhance your connection to that divine presence of the Mother, Father, God consciousness? The presence of the elementals are coming in like a wind rushing through to purify, enliven, refresh, and renew. The tree people gather around, reminding us of the first awakening of human consciousness in connection to the plant kingdom, the mushroom beings that connect us all, the mycelial network that births fruiting bodies overnight from the touch of rain. The mosses, the insects and spiders, all those creepy crawlies who come in under the surface to transform, to digest, to rebirth nourishment into the earth. And from this ground of being is birthed the multitude of life forms, the winged ones, the swim, the four-legged ones. Feel how you are an expression of the all in human form. So they can fly. Humans have fingers that we can manipulate the world around us. It is our gift to be creators in this world. We have teeth and tongues that can form complex It is our gift to come together in communities, in societies, as a creative force. Notice the elements within you, the fire awakening in your heart, the passion, the artistry, the yearning for truth and justice, the yearning to be in balanced relationship with other humans and with the world around you. Notice your unique vibration and how that harmonizes the whole. What is the harmonizing force that is within you? What is the force of ready to tear things down? Something new can be rebuilt. How does that express through you? What is your unique artist? How does it show up in your life? And how do you receive the most nourishment? The primary nourishment is the breath. So allow a deeper breath to arise within you. The second nourishment needed for our physical bodies is the water. Connect to the element of water within you. Feel how you are a living stream, a channel of water. You flow from your mother's womb at birth, grown and developed in water, containing water, drinking water, releasing water through your breath, through your words. Feel the connection to water. Are you drinking the purest water? Are you drinking enough water that the hydration within you moves you through your life into an authentic expression of being? connecting to food, body, nourishment from food grown in the earth, grown from, connected to the balance of nourishment, eating in balance with the earth, feeling how you as a body, as a human body, balance through nourishment, through eating healing, nourishing foods, through creating beautiful and pleasure-inducing meals, through sharing food with others. To how you are nourished, activities, movements, nourishing relationships. And now tuning in to the ability of this amazing human form to transform again and again and again. We first form as the four chambers of our heart. So now let's connect back to the origin of being in our heart center. The heart is the emanator of your electromagnetic field, the vibration that connects you to the world. So coming back into the heart, connect to your unique heart song. And as you breathe life into this space of your heart, feel yourself emerging into the most authentic expression of your being. In communion with life. Anointed by life. And can you allow yourself to just be present with this emerging? You don't need to know all of the pieces. You don't need to know exactly what it's going to look like. Just allow yourself to be in the emerging. breathe as if you can open every pore of your being to receive the breath fully. And with each exhale, feel a settling into your deep knowing, recognizing your unique connection to the God consciousness that is within you, your unique connection to the expansive, universal God consciousness that is without, recognizing that within and without is all your unique perception of being. And yourself, as you perceive yourself, is the most valuable gift that there is in this life. So take a moment to breathe in the gift of beingness and allow yourself to receive it in a deeper way than perhaps you ever have before. Feel yourself arriving more fully into presence, into your midline, into your open channel, open line of communication with divinity. Remembering who you truly are. Remembering why you came to be here. Remembering, bringing all of you into full presence. And with your next exhale, invite yourself to settle into yourself. And then as you welcome in the next breath, receive it as an opening to this new and yet infinitely old expression of self. Wiggle your fingers and toes, feeling how each one of your fingers and each one of your toes is a connecting point for you to be more fully embodied in spirit. Open your eyes and gaze around, recognizing that the way that your eyes receive the world is a unique expression of your inviting all parts of you to be unified at this time. The intellectual self, the artistic self, the spiritual self, the athletic self, the physical embodiment, exactly the way is your gateway to the infinite expression of yourself. What are you emerging into? As that comes fully clear for you, please, if you feel so inspired, share with us in the comments. Let us know, what is your truth that you came here to express? What is your mission or message? How can you express more authentically the true self while still owning all the unique quirks of your human embodiment? Thank you so much for going on this journey with me today. It has been an honor and a gift.
Thank you, Keira. Thank you so much for that. It was beautiful, and I really appreciated what you said about the importance of breath and water. I appreciate that reminder today. So thank you. Yeah, it was very interesting for me during this meditation. I've never seen something that I saw today in your meditation, and I figured you would want to know what that was. So at one point, I, in my spirit self, looked down at my hand, and it wasn't my hand. It was orange, I'm guessing monarch, butterflies that were so closely together that it became my hand. And then I saw that my entire body was nothing more than all of these monarch orange butterflies working in concert. And then my brain kicked in, and I thought, oh, if that's kind of what we're like, is this compilation of energy of, in my case today, butterflies, what happens when you transition? And it was fascinating because what they showed me was all of these butterflies just taking off in different directions. It was just kind of an interesting, I need to think about that a little bit.
Wow. Yeah, there's that full body vibration I was talking about. How fascinating to be shown in such a beautiful imagery, and it's fascinating to me, especially because of I brought forth in our conversation before we went live how I'd been in contemplation of how does my work as a sci-fi fantasy author connect to my work as a healing spiritual energetic practitioner, and you just gave me another piece. I had a lot of pieces that came through in my own contemplation, and you just gave me another piece because what you described is similar to something that came through in my novel. And wow, and very similar to something that I was shown by trees, which is where it came from in my novel, I believe, is because of my communication with trees. And one time, and this may be in the archives of Enlightened World Network somewhere. I believe I did a show where I talked about this when it was really fresh. When Ruth and I met in the physical, it was in Sedona, Arizona.
Mhm.
And right after we had met and looked at the stars and the UFOs and the Starlinks, because it was like fresh Starlink time, I went on a solo journey into the woods, and I was shown, and I communed with some standing dead junipers in Sedona. There was a whole stand of these standing dead trees, and I ended up calling them dead not dead because they weren't, their consciousness was very present, and they showed me that when trees die, it's not just that their consciousness goes into the community of roots and mycelial network, but also in the community of the insects. And so they're actually physically embodied in the insects that are taking over what looks like a husk of a shell of a dead tree is actually still so full of life. And so when you shared that about the butterflies, it was a very tree-like expression to me. It was very similar to the way that the trees have shown me consciousness reforming after or during transition. And when the trees showed me that, and then when you expressed it in the way it was shown to you just now, it really reminded me that how, I guess, how limited our trained viewpoint of life is, and how much more expansive the true experience is when we allow it in. And to really, I've been in a lot in the contemplation of how I have seen since a child, I've seen life as the preparation for death, which is kind of a funny way to put it. But can we be? This has been a contemplation of mine since I was a child. How can I feel complete in this journey? Or how can I feel ready, excited even for that transition? And so I feel like the more that we allow ourselves to go into these uncomfortable spaces of contemplating what is there, what is it that will come, and the more that we actually allow ourselves to take the time to experience something more than the daily grind of life, the more likely that we'll get to have an experience of transitioning that I feel it doesn't have to be fear. The fear of death does not need to be part of our consciousness. And this is something that I've been, like I said, in contemplation of a long time, and I definitely don't feel that I've figured it out, but I do feel that it's a big part of my mission, not to figure it out, but to be in that contemplation and to be in the sharing of it, to assist the collective in feeling that something greater is the truth, that we are actually here for something greater, that we're not just here to, go. I mean, how could that be, really? How could it be that we humans are just supposed to make as much money as we can so that we can then watch our children grow, have some grandchildren, hopefully stop working, hopefully live long enough that we stop working and get to go do something fun with our lives, and then just decline and die. I mean, that just doesn't feel right to when we really contemplate it. And so I really appreciate that. And I know I went off on a long tangent, but that was a very inspiring share. Thank you.
You bet. Well, Keira, thank you so much for today. And friends, thank you for being here at Enlightened World Network. We so appreciate you. So take good care. God bless. We'll see you all soon. Thanks, Keira.